Hey, Dr. Mark here. Let's go ahead and take a look at a programming competition problem, in particular the WERTYU problem from Caddis. All right, so here's the actual site on Caddis. They have a picture of the keyboard, they describe the input and the output, and basically the input will just be what you would type if your hands were over to the right by one character on the keyboard, and the job is to translate that input back into what you meant to type. Pretty nice because there's only just several lines of text. You don't have to worry about numbers or anything like that, just strings. So let's go ahead and take a look at our solution. All right, here's our Python solution, our first one. We're going to start out with a string, and this string just represents all the keys that could be typed from left to right, top to bottom. Note that we type them in the string as if we had the caps lock on, so all the letters are capitalized, but the symbols are in their non-caps configuration. Secondly, about this string, we have a backslash in the string itself, so we need to represent that with the escape character. So essentially we have two backslashes here. The first is the escape, the second is the actual character to put in the string. And lastly about the string, since it contains a single tick, then we have to enclose the string itself in double quotes. Now we're going to use that to build a dictionary that I've called map here. Remember that a dictionary is a collection of key-value pairs. The key will be the mistaken key that was typed in the input, and the value will be the corrected key that we should output. So that would look something like this. So our dictionary is named map, and it is a collection of key-value pairs. Our first key in the dictionary will be the character 1, and it will be associated with the character immediately to its left, which is the backtick. And then we'd have 2 associated with 1, and so on, all the way through for all those pieces that are in that string. And again, the idea is that this is what was typed, and the second value, or the second piece, the value, is the corrected version. So let's look at how we build that dictionary. Okay, so this for loop here on line 18 and 19 of the file is what builds our dictionary. Note that we start index-wise at character 1 in the string and go all the way to the end. And then we take as a key value the ith character of the string, and its value associated is the I minus first character. So again, we start, for instance, with the 1, and its value is the backtick. So that dictionary builds all of those, and then we put the space in as a key value where the key and the value are the same because there's no alternative character or incorrect placement for the space bar. Then we move on to actually solving the problem using that dictionary. So the first thing we do is read all of the input lines. Again, I like to use the sys.standardin.readlines method. That returns a list of lines that are already created, and that way I don't have to worry about any end of file markers or reading a certain number of lines. It just gets them all as a Python list. So then we'll process each one of those, however many there are. And then I'm going to use list comprehension here to make a list of the new characters. So list comprehension is a little weird. We always should start with the for loop first. And so we say for ch in line up to and including, or not including the last character. So this will go through every character in the line. We strip off the last character because when we do the read lines, the carriage return character is included, and I don't want that \n in my process. So I go through all the characters in there, and then what I'm going to replace or create in the list is the values for each of those characters' keys. Okay, so in other words, this new line list is going to look like this. So my new line list that I've created has the corrected characters in the output, but as a list. So in our test input that's given on the website, it would look like this. I would have an I, a space, an A, an M, another space, an F, and so on, all the way to the end of the line. And so what's left is to take this list, which I can't really output, and I've got to convert it into a string that can be output in the proper format. And for that, I'm going to use the string join method. All right, as we said, we've got a list now in new line which contains all of the characters that have been corrected in the proper order. And all I have to do now is stick them together using string join. So I'm going to use a null string, just tick tick, nothing inside it, and its join method on the new line list. So that puts all of the elements in the list together, separated by nothing. Okay, and so that will put all of those elements into the list. So let's see if this thing works. So we're back to the site, and I'm going to go ahead and enter a submission here for this. I've copied that over, so I'll just paste it into my editor and make sure that I select Python 3 instead of Java as my language and submit it, and let's see what happens. Kind of wait for a minute while it compiles and runs, and huzzah, it works. So that is an example of how to solve WERTYU in Python. And that's it. Hey, if you're interested in looking at some more problems or some more learning, go ahead and like and follow, and check the GitHub repo for other versions of the same problem solution, another version in Python, one in Java, and one in C++. See you next time.